Well, Saturday's feature race at Del Mar is the $300,000 Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks. Coming to you from the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club, I'm Andrew Brown, joined for the first time this Del Mar meet by Nick Tammaro, who's going to help us find the winner. What's up, Nick?
I'm doing great, Andrew. Glad to be with you, talking a little Del Mar action.
Yeah, it should be good. Should be good fun. Now, Nick, you handicap about 540 races a day for twinspires, and I should mention you'll be doing the expert picks for Del Mar this Saturday and Sunday. What have you been enjoying about the Del Mar meet so far?
Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none. That's my my. But no, it's the racing at Del Mar has been outstanding. I mean, I can't say enough about what the racing office has done to put out a really deep and competitive product with the ship and win bonuses. And obviously they recruited a number of stables to get out there. So it's, even with weary eyes, sometimes later on at night, I'll take a look at the Del Mar past performances to have a better two, because it's really worth it. And I'm sure everybody who's been actively involved in it is really enjoying the racing product quite a bit.
Well, it's 7 o'clock in the morning Pacific time when we record this, so you should be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And let's take a look at the field for Saturday's feature. The Del Mar Oaks contested over the 9 panels on the turf. A very intriguing field of 14, lots of different form lines. The likely favourite drawn wide, I'm talking about Spenderella, who suffered a first defeat in 4 lifetime starts last time out, running second in the Group 1 coronation at Royal Ascot to none other than Inspiral, one of the best milers on the planet at the moment, and a winner of a Group 1 at Deauville just last Sunday. Tyler Gafflione makes the trip to California to ride. Nick, is Spenderella the benchmark in this race, and where do you see her settling in the run?
Yeah, I mean, she is. I think the only concern, of course, is that she did ship over to Ascot for the coronation and now comes back and goes from her East Coast base all the way out to Del Mar. But Graham Motion is a guy who's just had a tremendous amount of success everywhere and is very astute when it comes to picking out the right spots. I think for his horses, probably understood a little bit that the tighter turns of the 1 1/8 at Del Mar on a very firm turf course is probably exactly what this filly wants. I also think she makes the running here, which makes her even tougher on paper. She's very quick early. We saw her show a great amount of speed in her second start when she won at Gulfstream. That was a really hot pace that day, and she stayed on nicely and pulled clear coming off the turn. It really turns out that most of the horses she's beaten in those 2 stakes wins especially have all turned out to be pretty productive. So she's very much the horse to beat to me, and I hope that she's none the worse for wear for a little bit of the travel, because this is a filly who I've felt for quite a while really has a lot of upside and potential.
I'm feeling like she might be your on-top selection, but we'll confirm that in a second. What about Phil D'Amato? He's got a quartet of runners, including the first 3 across the line in the San Clemente Stakes. All Irish breds. D'Amato won the race last year with Going Global. What do you make of the D'Amato brigade, Nick?
Yeah, I think they're sort of formful in the sense that Bella Bella is probably the most likely winner and likely the shortest price of the 4 coming in off the San Clemente win. I thought it was a strong performance. I thought she actually ran really well in the Blue Norther coming from off a slow pace to win that day. She likely benefits if Spenderella gets any company on the front end. So as much as the pace could get heated up a little bit, that really stands to benefit Bella Bella. I thought she drew well also on the inside, and I think Umberto Rispoli will be able to save some ground from the start. Island of Love is the one that had a little bit of trouble last time out, and I think that's probably why you'd want to give her some consideration. She also feels like a horse who benefits from every bit of the 1 1/8, potentially, if not a little bit farther. So I think the distance, now that they're going farther than they have in a while, will likely help her chances a little bit too.
One very interesting runner for me, and if you know how to pronounce this horse better than what I will, Nick, please help me out. Number 9, Shopper, a new addition to the John Sadler barn, and a last out winner of the German 1,000 Guineas in Dusseldorf. You ever been to Dusseldorf, Nick?
I have not. I've been to Munich and Berlin, but no Dusseldorf.
This horse won the German 1,000 Guineas last time out in Dusseldorf, has some French form before that, a Group 3 win and a stakes win in France. How do you go about assessing a horse like this, Nick?
Yeah, this is a tough one. The only form line that I think a U.S. punter would really understand would be that of the pre-imprudence from Deauville back in April of this year. Malavath, who won that race, came over and contested the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf last year. Didn't run particularly well, but didn't have a great trip that day either. So it's tough to say. I think this is, as far as the Del Mar Oaks has gone, this is a pretty solid rendition of it. our fillies at this stage are not really much grade one faced because there's one grade one for 3-year-old fillies on the turf prior to this, and it was the Belmont Oaks. So I think our fillies are generally grade 2 and grade 3 types at this point because they can't really be any better than that. I think my feeling is that she's facing better horses today than she has. I know, and many people out there have more knowledge of international racing than myself, but the German turf races are really not on par necessarily with that of those in France or England, especially in the middle of the summer. So I think she's an interesting horse because it seems as if she has some speed, and she has a rider who I think is at his best when he's a little bit more forward in Florent Giroux. So I'd be interested to see the workout reports and the toad action, if there might be some info, some clues to glean from there. Otherwise, she looked to me like kind of a legitimate 8 or 10 to 1 shot.
Yeah, good points there about the form lines too. Running behind Malafath, who then did contest the Breeders' Cup Juvenile here last November behind Pizza Bianca, and then Pizza Bianca was in that coronation behind Spenderella as well. So you might think that she's got a few lengths to make up, but certainly an interesting runner, and by all reports has been working well here on the turf course. John Sadler very happy, and also Florent Giroux very happy as well. Any other horses that we haven't discussed that are going to feature in your selections, Nick?
No, I think we've touched on the principles. I mean, Cairo Memories is worth mentioning just because she pretty much was leading this division until they decided to take a foray into deeper waters in the Belmont Oaks, and she finished 5th. I don't know if she ran as well as her running line looks. The inside paths on the Belmont turf course on that particular card were really where you wanted to be. The rails had been taken down after being out for the month after the Belmont Stakes. So I do think it looks as if she ran a little bit better. She's not quick enough to get the lead from Spenderella, but she will get the jump on some of the closers. I think it'll just be a matter of what you feel like a fair price on Cairo Memories is. I would want 5, 6, 7 to 1. I don't know if she'll quite drift that high, but I would be sure to demand a little bit of value there. Otherwise, I think it could be a risky gamble.
All right. Well, as our friend Pete Fornatail over at In the Money Media says, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire now and get your top selection in the Del Mar Oaks. And while you're at it, you might as well give us your trifecta as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick the 11 Spenderella. I'm looking forward to seeing how she stacks up with grade 1 competition domestically off of that surprisingly strong effort in the coronation. So 11-2-5 for me. Like to find a little long shot maybe to squeeze in there somewhere, but it looks rather formful to me.
Well, as I say, great minds think alike. I'm with Spenderella as well. I'm just such a big fan of Inspiral, and I think running within 4 lengths of her is going to be good enough to win this as well. Nick, thank you always for your time and your insights.
Thank you, my friend. Talk to you soon.
Look forward to it. And a reminder, all of Nick's selections for every race at Del Mar available on the TwinSpires app this Saturday and Sunday. Good luck with all of your bets at Del Mar.